One really solid piece of advice for people who are starting to grow vegetables and other edible crops is to grow what you already like to eat. Because if you invest time in growing vegetables that you don't like, they'll likely sit out in the garden and get wasted. One vegetable that I haven't really liked and I have never grown before is broad beans. And I've tried them a few times before in the past, ages ago. Didn't like them, so I haven't bothered. Now this year, I tried them again, and guess what? I actually like them in certain things. And I'm interested in growing them. So I am starting to grow broad beans, which is a pretty beginner vegetable, for the very first time. And I've picked up a pack of seeds. They are a type called agua dulce, and they are a white seeded broad bean, and they are an autumn sowing seed. With broad beans, you have types that you would sow the seeds in spring, and you also have types that you can overwinter. And so I am going to be sowing those seeds today. And what I'll be doing is sowing them in large modules in just ordinary multi-purpose compost, and I'll be placing them in the greenhouse. And that's because those large seeds are very attractive to rodents. And so if I grow them in a place that's protected, I'll have a lot better germination rate, and I can also keep an eye on them over the winter. But saying that, a lot of people do have really good success with just sowing outdoors, and I've seen people grow it that way many times in the allotments. Once I start the seeds off today, they will begin growing, and I'll start to see some shoots coming up very soon. And then the growth will stop over winter, and I'll just keep them protected, keep them in the greenhouse, make sure that the compost always stays a little bit moist. And then in spring, I'll plant them out and put in supports and harvest them. And I'm really excited to see how they do, because I've never ever grown them myself before. But I guess the lesson with this is to continuously try different things, and to try things that you don't think that you like, just to make sure that your tastes haven't changed, because this has happened to me twice now. Now, seeing what happens, so growing something new, this is always really exciting, and I do that every single year. And this year it was French sorrel that was the new vegetable for me. And it's important to experiment, but it's also important to sit back sometimes and see what happens. And we're doing that right now with the lawn. We haven't cut the grass since I think about mid-September, and it's looking really lush and green, but also loads and loads of mushrooms are popping up. We have 2 fairy rings of shaggy parasols, which are a type of edible mushroom if they're cooked. There are dozens of different types of mushrooms that I cannot identify, but am fascinated to see. But this week, just a couple days ago, the most incredible mushroom popped up, and it is out of this world. It literally looks like an alien squid hatching out of what looks like an egg. This is a rare type of mushroom called the devil's fingers, Clathrus archeri. And they're very rare in the British Isles, and I think that very few people have spotted them here on the island. And there's one that's hatched, and there are 5 more eggs, which are sometimes called witches' eggs, that are in the lawn as well. So I will be documenting their hatching and watching every single day to see what happens. Just imagine like a lobster or a squid, bright red, emerging out of the ground. Very, very Hoptunet-esque. And if you want to see a photo of what it looks like, head over to the Lovely Greens Facebook page or my Instagram, because I've put quite a few up there.